5 years ago, we pictured a home in the jungle, perched above the reef with the ocean as our front yard. We had no idea how much it would ask of us, or how much it could change us. We're Katie and Jace. We live here on a remote island in the Solomon Islands, where we've spent the last 10 years running a dive resort, living off-grid, and raising a family surrounded by jungle and reef. Life here is beautiful, but it's not easy.
Crazy. What else can happen?
We never imagined we'd build a house here, not during a global pandemic with our resort closed and the future uncertain. But after 12 months of total isolation, with international borders shut and our income gone, we reached a point where we had to do something. The resort work had stalled. The weight of it all was falling heavy on our shoulders. So Jace and I made a call. We put in some of our own savings to keep a few local staff employed so we could start building a home for our family. We had no real plan, just a site above the beach and the hope that this project would keep us moving forward. We didn't know what this house would become or how long it would take, but in the process of trying to hold on to some sort of momentum, we built more than a home. And that quiet decision to begin, it changed everything.
We are building our dream island home.
In case you're new here, we live on Upi Island, a tiny speck in the Solomon Islands in the heart of the South Pacific. Our first home here was a small leaf house. 2 rooms, an open-air laundry and a bathroom out the back. It was humble and full of heart. But as we watched our kids grow, we knew we needed more space and privacy. We imagined building a home to fit this magical location we'd discovered. It would have 2 wings, one for family life, the other for work, laundry and visitors, all joined by a central outdoor deck.
We choose really easy places to build houses.
It's pretty magnificent though.
So it's an L-shaped building, which runs back that way. This is the leaf house here, and then the guest house goes back into the jungle a little bit there.
After many months of hard work and careful clearing of a pathway to access the site, we started profiling.
So we were super careful when we were actually felling all these trees here. We actually have trees within about 1 metre of the boundary on every single edge. So although we had to get rid of a few of these other softwoods, we're surrounded on all 4 sides with these beautiful trees. So these are our corner posts here. So the next string line is going to come across here and intersect this, and we'll remove these posts. This is Denmark. So the profile's in. We're going to drill some holes and knock some rebar. Well, it's actually threaded rod, but essentially rebar that's going to go through the middle of our concrete post. So our portable genset, which is about 1 million years old, has just set on fire. This is Joe!
We used concrete posts for longevity, setting them in reusable PVC pipe casings which we'd cut vertically. It was fast, cost-effective, and it meant that we could avoid wasting precious materials. Jace mapped everything out in SketchUp, working around materials that we had on hand, like fixed lengths of colorbond that shaped the entire design. Once the concrete footings were in, it was time to move the giant timber posts for the deck, cut and milled just 800 metres away in our workshop. We used the mini excavator to get them up the hill, but the final lift into place, all done by hand. It took some serious teamwork, timing, and quite a few deep breaths.
Voila. Telefono bang post, bang iron, yeah. Yeah. Perfect. So yeah, we've got the joists on the deck area here. The bearers are all finished for the little guest house, and then we're missing 3 pieces of timber, which we're just processing at the moment there. But it's looking so good, and this is floor. Well, it's an inch off floor level, so it's pretty much floor level. And if you can see down there, the steps will wind down the cliff down to the beach for the kids to have their own little beach down there, which would be pretty awesome.
Kemuel, take me to the water. Struggles in my mind. Take me to the water.
Okay, so I'm heading up to the job site. I've got everything this morning. GoPro, laptop, load of timber, phone. Wow! How good's this looking? Whose beach is that?
That is in Arlo's and Philly's.
Arlo's and Philly's special beach, it sure is.
Take me to the water. Struggles in my mind.
Steps are on. Woo! There. And that's gonna look so good when that leaf roof goes on. I march up perfect now. Squaring off the building on top of the joists, so we've kept the house really square as we've gone at every stage, but this is like the final check. So this is actually where the frames for the walls are going to sit on top of. So we're just using a bit of old school maths. We've done the first 2 lines, so we've taken one straight line across the front of the building, and that's the line that we want to be perfect, and we're going to set the deck off that as well, and then set the other house off that as well. And we are framing the house, and we're actually putting some walls up hopefully by this afternoon, so really stoked and excited. A 1.6 metre wide road that comes into the block here, so we've got nowhere to actually build the frames, we've got nowhere to build the house. I decided that we'll do things a little bit in reverse, and would actually build this deck section first, which we could string up a tarp as well, which gives us a bit of coverage and protection from the sun.
Is it good?
In keeping with our family tradition, this home was given the Morovo name for a species of tree that surrounds us here, Chyla. Little hiccups like the nail gun jamming might not seem like a big deal, but when you live on a remote island and you can't just replace a tool the next day, it's massive. We weren't just building this house. We were still working on the resort beach houses. Every hour on site was precious because time not spent building meant we could be spearfishing for protein, tending to the garden to keep the kids healthy, or maintaining this island with zero income. So when something as small as the glue of the nail coils melting caused the gun to misfire, it didn't feel small. It felt like the whole day was at risk. And honestly, if we couldn't fix it, we were prepared to finish this build without a nail gun at all. And that's just the reality of building here.
Framing's finished! Woo! Stoked. Next step is putting all the nogs in just to further brace the walls. Then we'll strap the building, put all our cyclone rods in, and then once we've done that, we'll start building the rafters and trusses for the roof. Should be good to get the roof on. It's just, that's like the biggest task. Once you got the roof on, everything is a little bit more manageable and just cooler. We've got a couple of beams up here. We're going to do this entire surround here. We actually had to order some extra beams because when we're fixing two of them up, I just wasn't happy with the quality of the timber. So even though we had them up there, ready to bolt on, we took them back down, and we luckily had our Lucas mill in the bush that day on the right species of log and the right length. Amazing. So we cut 3 new beams yesterday. They've come out of the bush yesterday evening. We planed them this morning, and they're going up today.
Lifting these massive beams into place was a proud moment, especially knowing the timber came from our local sawmill, where selective harvesting helps to protect this country's forests. Misuse of the resource is a huge threat across the Solomons, so it really matters to us that every piece that we use supports a more sustainable way forward. We've shared more on that story in our build series linked here.
Starting to take shape. Pretty cool.
From this point, progress on the house slowed to almost nothing, but the story didn't stop. If anything, the next 12 months became a chapter worthy of its own book.
Please remain where you are.
When the Solomon Islands finally entered strict localised lockdowns, almost 2 years behind the rest of the world.
Scrambling, we don't have a lot of diesel.
The few staff that we had here were sent home. Tools down again, fuel was limited, and we turned all of our focus back to survival. Securing the island, spearfishing for protein, harvesting from the gardens, and somehow keeping ourselves positive. Among earthquakes and injuries, sad news and epic wildlife experiences, surreal events continued to remind us what makes this place so truly special. We were still pushing to finish the 3 beach houses we'd started in the early days of the pandemic. With barely anyone here, it was slow and it was exhausting. And then we left.
We're going to Australia.
For the first time in 2.5 years, we left Upi, heading back to Australia. Being in Australia with our 2 kids was like stepping into another world. They'd spent more than half of their lives in island isolation, barefoot, wild and free. And suddenly we were experiencing culture shock. We all got COVID for the first time. And while we were recovering, I finally had to face some medical concerns I'd been carrying quietly for years. Those few months were so full. Hospital visits, appointments, time with our loved ones who we hadn't seen in so long. It was necessary, it was healing, but it also reminded us where we felt most whole. We had realised just how much this island meant to us. We weren't just building a house. We were choosing a life, and that life for us was on the island. When we got back to Upi, the roof was finally on, thanks to Jace's parents supervising the progress while we were gone. It's so big, it feels really big now that we've got a roof on.
Yeah, so
I particularly love the pawpaw tree.
yeah, we've got a feature pawpaw tree going through the roof there.
So this is going to be our kitchen, and I think this is the part of the house that I am most excited for because, as you probably already know from our other videos, we love to cook. I love spending time with the kids cooking, and at the moment, living in our small home without a proper kitchen, we rely on using the commercial kitchen up in the restaurant area, and that just means walking 150 metres every time or 100 metres every time we want to make a meal, and disrupting the kids and whatever they're doing, and it can be challenging, and I just can't wait to be in this huge kitchen. You'll notice how big this kitchen is for us because my dream, my whole life is to have a huge kitchen, and this is insanely massive. I think the length of this kitchen is 9 meters, and we've got a huge big island bench where I can be with the kids preparing food, and everything that I could possibly desire in a kitchen is going to be in this beautiful space, and Jace is somehow making that happen. Oh, I'm so freaking excited. The idea of it, I can't wait to be in this house. The exterior on the house has been cladded and it actually looks like a house, and it's just incredible, this place, this location, this home that we're building for ourselves. Every time I come up here, I feel giddy with excitement that we are so incredibly lucky to be doing this, to be building this insane house for us and the kids. And we actually didn't film the cladding, and I don't know why. I think it's just been so busy here. We've been so caught up in the jobs with the new cabin builds, getting them done. We didn't realize how far the guys came in such a short space of time. The more this home takes shape, the more exciting it is for us, and we're so happy that you're here watching it with us too.
It was hard to see Chyla sitting still, even for a short time. But in this life that we've chosen, the urgent so often outweighs what feels more important in our hearts. Our dream had to wait quietly in the background while we gave everything we had to keep everything else afloat.
Definitely still feels like we are encapsulated in the jungle here, and that was really important to us. Let's go over the top of these timbers here. Whoa. So the boys are currently sheeting our front room here, our bedroom. Yeah. I didn't know you were coming here, darling.
I wasn't planning to, but your phone wasn't catching. That was a good little Chyla visit.
Yeah.
Things are happening.
So well.
Woohoo!
For the next few months, we barely touched the house. The resort needed everything we had. With international borders reopening and our first visitors set to arrive in October of 2022, the pressure was on. We had 3 brand new beach houses to complete to perfection. Existing bungalows to repair, water tanks to build, boats to fit out, and leaf aerovos to finish. Honestly, it was impossible for us to capture the sheer intensity of that workload. After nearly 3 years with no income, we could finally bring back our full island team, and what a relief it was. This was a monumental race to the finish line.
I'm really proud of you. I am really proud of what we imagined this could be, and getting through the last few years. It's a big deal.
It was finally time to shift our energy back to Chyla. The next big task? Completing the leaf roof that would shelter the deck and unite the 2 wings of our home. Leaf roofing is traditional Solomon Island shelter, and from our very first moments together, living under leaf has been a part of our lives.
We have a small house. It's a leaf roof.
Our first home here was built with a high-pitched leaf roof. It kept us cool, connected to the sounds of the island, and made even the wildest rains feel comforting. But leaf roofing has a lifespan, around 10 years. And just a few months earlier, we'd actually replaced the entire roof on that old home. In fact, over the years, we've restored leaf structures all across the island. The work is enormous and extraordinary.
But I put 2 of the 6 layers on, so we've got another 4 layers to go in tomorrow. You think I'm complete tomorrow? 4 layers are 1 day? No, I'm with you. So there's at least another day, day and a half to go. But it looks unreal. And yeah, this is like the crux of the roof. If you get a good ridge cap, then everything else will last, exponentially longer.
For this home, we needed colorbond for the main roof to collect rainwater, but we knew that the deck needed to honour tradition. Watching our team come together to sew this structure, leaf by leaf, was something else. The harmony, the laughter, the sacred knowledge passed between generations. It meant the world to us. And over the course of about 3 weeks, this roof became more than just shelter. It became a tribute to culture, to craftsmanship, and to the place we call home.
Wow. Every video blowing mo forklare. See? So him now by pass on top of the leaf or hold him down for wind sa apom kam, yeah? Mando. Vera. No.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just saying, Arlo hasn't been here in like a month.
Yeah, there's a leaf roof up, buddy.
So cool.
That is beautiful.
The last lift now. Vamos ringen wat de man today for träffa. Hey, welcome back, Jimmy. Come on, ta. Se mot the video boring na time you stay. No anyone for same main actor. Ja? Wat all na nice. No ma. Millis. Gutters in. This big central gutter here is going to collect water from this tin roof and this leaf roof and drain it out and just come down on a chain here to keep it as clear as possible. We can't use that water because it has, and then it's collected off a leaf roof, has a certain algae in it. It's not safe for drinking. But the roof is done. You can see it. Like it's hidden there. Wow. That looks unreal. Tuhan tu ya.
What do you reckon? Are we in by Christmas? Next week? Wishful thinking. Keeps us going. At this point, with the leaf roof done, we finally started making some progress inside. Prepping floorboards, finishing the sheeting, and moving on to plastering and painting. Now let's not forget, we're on a tiny island in the middle of the Solomons. Every piece of timber for this house, it comes in by boat from our local sawmill. We process it right here in our own timber workshop, and it's mostly hand carried up to the job site. Laying floorboards in each room provides a literal foundation to work from for these next stages of the build. Soon you'll see what it takes to get other resources here too, and just how much we appreciate it. With the resort back in full swing, most of the crew could only help out on extra shifts. Harry, who's actually our head chef, would show up in between kitchen shifts, plastering walls like he's been doing it for years.
Harry is definitely not a plasterer by trade, but he's doing a really good job and he's learned a lot in the last year. So he's plastered most of the bungalows and most of this house as well. Again, very multi-skilled employees, which is amazing.
I want to make it known that our team here isn't full of tradies and there are no contractors we can bring in. Most have learned everything right here on the island, coming to us fresh from small local villages and over the years acquiring different skills. But we are very grateful to have a couple of talented carpenters and mechanics on staff, as well as some close friends who help us out with aspects like electrical fit out and tiling.
We're going to finalise a bit of the electrical layout. We're running some of the wiring, putting some of the 413s in for the lights, getting everything straightened out so we can move down from the ceiling, which just allows us to get all that scaffold out of the house and start working on the floors.
And then there's Jace, who's not a qualified builder, but somehow manages to lead every build project on this island like a pro. He teaches, troubleshoots, and figures it out one job at a time with a very hands-on approach. Building off-grid is never going to be predictable, but that's part of what makes it so special.
Very, very excited to have all the scaffold down.
I haven't seen this completed.
Yeah, do you see the little roof at the front too? The lights. I got a face full of dust, need to go into my eyes. Getting those light fittings in is really important because then we can finish off that ceiling section and move down. And once we move down, we can take all the scaffolding out and concentrate on the floor. This room definitely was not painted when we were last here. We've got some sheeting up now blocking those windows so we're not getting water in. The ceiling was, but all these walls have got their first coat on them. And we're just using that as an opportunity, so that's a really easy way of picking up any imperfections in the plastering. We can just go back and touch them up and then continue painting. And the floors are going down in the rest of the house. The floors are down in some of the rooms. This is one of the kids' rooms. This is the floor in our bedroom. But Bobby's sanding some plaster, so I'm gonna get out of here. Absolutely amazing the difference that a coat of paint makes. It just makes the whole space feel a lot more complete. It's funny, even the floors going in, I reckon, makes a big difference as far as just feeling like a room versus a job site. Just bringing that floor level up and knowing where your ceiling heights are going to be just makes it feel a bit more real. Anyway, that's good. The windows here are ready to go in.
This was the first time in years that life felt settled. The resort was open again, our house was slowly coming together. We had family visit, we were busy but not in crisis.
What will the new year bring?
For the first time in a long time, we had space to think about the future, about our family. We had 2 happy, wild, beautiful children. We were even building our dream home with just 2 kids' bedrooms. We were content. And yet, there was this quiet feeling like maybe someone was still missing. So we let go of plans and pressure. We figured we just opened the door to the possibility. If it was meant to be, it would be. So what if there were only 2 kids' bedrooms?
Tell me, honey,
I think I should take a pregnancy
we
test.
go far.
Hello?
Listen, baby.
Vision was so clear for so far.
Yeah, this road is long ahead. Yeah, this road is long ahead. Let's take it slow. La, 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 la,
It's a boy!
And just like that, the timeline for finishing this house suddenly felt fixed. Being pregnant while living this remotely meant travelling back to Australia for checkups, and eventually relocating for the birth of our little popcorn. So getting our home ready for a growing family felt like a real deadline. But at the same time, we were diving headfirst into another huge project. 2 more beach houses in just 10 weeks, all hands on deck. What followed was completely unpredictable. Cyclones, delayed shipments, exhausting days, and the heartbreaking sudden loss of a loved team member. It was beyond anything we could have imagined. We actually documented that wild chapter in a full build series. We've linked it here if you want to see the chaos unfold for yourself. It just meant that we had so much more work to do and that it would go on for so much longer, and that holds us up from getting back to building up in Chyla and making progress towards us moving into our new house. So
Floor's done. Nah, you'll put the door in soon as we can finish the deck. He's looking very nice and dusty. I'm filming. This is real life, man. Look at the sweat everywhere. We're lifting the glass into these timber frames, standing them up and assembling them.
Jace had this idea, huge glass windows to frame the ocean. Everyone told us not to, too hot, too hard, but he was set on it. We couldn't buy prefabricated windows, so we sourced giant sheets of glass ourselves, from the capital onto a sea ferry, into tiny island boats and then hand carried up to the house. No footage exists, but trust me, it was madness.
And we cracked a sheet. Well, I cracked a sheet. The frame wasn't perfect and we tried to force it in. That sucks.
Turns out we did eventually install 3 glass windows, but it took 6 sheets of glass to get there. Somewhere in the total chaos of juggling multiple builds at once, the timber louvers were made and installed and the bathrooms in Chyla were tiled. It all happened alongside the madness of the Resort Beach House project, and honestly we missed filming most of it. We never set out to document every detail for a video like this, but here we are.
Seems a bit crazy at the moment, but we will get there, I'm sure. And Katie just wants to sleep in this house for one night before we leave. So that's the aim. And we're trying to crack on with a lot of jobs up here. Because really we need to have this finished before we leave for Australia to have the popcorn. Unfortunately, it came up this morning and someone has accidentally stood on the 3rd sheet of glass, cracking another whole massive sheet, which is really frustrating because we're putting in our beautiful glass windows, but all 3 sheets have been cracked in travel and installation, and now someone just standing on the 3rd one. So We get more glass and honey iron, which is such a big deal because they're really heavy sheets and they're really fragile. Excuse the jackhammer noise. Just knocking down a couple of rocks that are a bit spiky. Anyway.
With so much on and our deadline closing in, I travelled to Australia with Ophelia for pregnancy checkups while Jay stayed behind to keep the build moving. Moments like this coming back together reminded us how much this home meant and how grateful we were for what we were creating.
Are you like the gatekeeper or something, are you?
Yeah.
Alright, Arlo and Alton are building houses up on the construction site. Good job. Katie is sweeping.
I'm sweeping. It's the only thing I'm good for. I can sweep.
We have a giant sheet of glass which is cracked in 12 places, which we now don't actually know how to move safely. So that's the predicament of the morning, because we really want to move on to the kitchen.
This is gonna be my desk for editing. And the bathroom's not really new, but the floors are just going in now. I think we've got less than 3 weeks until I leave the island, so one night I want to sleep in here. Hey Philly. Yeah? You getting excited? Suddenly, it felt like we were running out of time. Every part of this home had to be built from scratch, including the entire kitchen, so we had to get moving. During the chaos of the resort build, our appliances, fittings and fixtures had finally arrived by sea freight, along with the water tanks and septic systems which had been hand-carried into place. Being completely off-grid, we rely on rainwater for all our needs. It's collected from the roof, filtered and UV sterilised to be safe and chemical-free. Out back, a simple septic system quietly does its job, using bacteria to break down waste before safely returning it to the soil.
That's unreal! First frames are in. Getting the oven space built in. And the glass is coming for these windows. Tomorrow, the next day, depending on the weather.
Hello, my love.
Hello, dear.
This is looking
Welcome to your kitchen.
very exciting.
Tuvalana on the tools.
Yeah, we've got a popcorn.
We're gonna get this done and hopefully get that in on top tomorrow.
Good job, popcorn. Come on, Otto. Progress is looking good up here. Harry is now plastering the second house. Come on, Harry! Yee! Margie's scratching all the bits off the floor. Oh, great job, man. It's quite a lot of work having children at a job site, I must admit.
The fairies make the juice of this.
Safety first. Man, that is so beautiful. Hey, Jimmy, come to me. This is nerve-wracking because if I do this wrong and crack the slab. Okay. More fighting down here.
Aha. Wow.
Miss filming that come in. Yeah. Volume line of flooring. Whoa, that is huge.
Inside, this side.
Yeah, so. Oh! You ran the wrong way. Shit.
Why you lift him up?
Wow. Okay. That's a lot of this kitchen. Bobby am like I'm cooking this kitchen, yeah, you know, kitchen on top, I'm like cooking. So now that you can actually move in here. Oh yeah. That'll look unreal.
children, you've got space to make your mess over there while I clean and cook over here.
Good job, honey. So we've just put the frame underneath for all of the draw runners. We're then going to put some cross braces in underneath that island, and then we'll put the framework in to put the timber paneling on the front as well.
It's only a week and a bit until I am leaving to be back in Australia to wait for popcorn to arrive. What are we up to here, kids?
Making passport.
Before!
Our friends.
For our friends that we're going to be taking back to Aussie. Exhibit A, passport for Pup 1. It's just behind you there, bud.
You get a line on top. Yep, go. Done.
I'm making a yard.
Subframe's all done. So all the runners. Who's that underneath? Really careful, honey.
Some painting.
Painting? Yep.
All the way down, remember? From the top to the bottom.
Nice and
That's the
steady.
Okay?
What could go wrong?
Alright, so that's actually finished now. The boys nailed in the last couple of panels. That looks unreal. Really stoked to have that done. We're going to start putting in some drawers later on this afternoon. So that's going to get all that, keep all that kind of nice and neat and tidy under there, which means we can start fitting out the runners and drawers on this side as well. Look nice, no? Mexico. Tunale. Drawer fronts are going to get routed now. I'm going to plaster the front of them, fill up the little holes that we've got there. They can sand over the top. Looks pretty unreal, eh, Toph? One more coat to go. I love the little bit of texture that VJ board's giving it, which will sand back just to fill in any little defects in the front of the timbers, just so they're a bit easier to wipe down and to fill the little screw holes. Woo! Man, this is happening quickly, this little house.
To help Daddy up at Tyler.
Why are you in a raincoat?
Because it's raining.
Oh. Manta. This one finished now. Wow. Wow. Come on, now Philly, watch out for the paint. We don't want to get paint all over our feet and then spread paint around the rest of the house. Come on, give it a push, Philly. Wow, perfect. I just dislocated my thumb, subluxed it. That is the sort of thing that can just make you so ineffective. But this isn't broken, but it is very sore and throbbing. Around the oven there. Unreal. Good job, Toph. view from the loo.
We leave for Australia tomorrow, so Jason and I made the decision probably about a week and a half ago that Arlo would come with me as well, so I'm taking both of the kids tomorrow because there's still quite a lot of work to get done on our new house, and if I take both the kids, Jace can really focus hard on waking up, getting stuff done. He can work at night if he needs to, and limit the amount of time that we're actually apart because we don't like doing things this way. I'm just dressing the babies.
There is no time for dressing the babies. Put them in nude, they're going in the back.
Right up against the tide, it's always you and I. When you want it, brave, pushing on the waves for a place to stay. Bring the harbor, and our ships are passing. My love, this won't last. Our ships keep on passing, missing in the night, missing in the night, and this too shall closing in, moving on my skin.
And a rat has managed to get into the oven, into the main chamber, and made like a nest inside. Oh, so I just spent like an hour and a half cleaning it. It's chewed on two little wires, one for the thermostat, one for the starter. Not sure if it's gone all the way through or not. That is a beautiful ceiling. Oh, okay. That's for the bedroom. Oh, that's nice. This one separate. All right, it's all working. Woo! Woo! Because we really just want to finish this section this morning and then move away from it with our plastering. Woo! Wow. The big windows, man. That's cool. Looking in the dark. All of the tiny imperfections that are left in the plaster. So we get these patched, leave them for a day to sand, to dry, sand them back, and then this whole place will be ready to paint. Floor's done, and then we're done in here.
Take off my clothes, lay me down. A drowning ghost, the river knows. If I take off my clothes and lay me down, a drowning ghost.
Parcel. Yep, we got a parcel that's going with some Upi guests.
Woo, frames are in. Alright, I'm back. It's narrow. It's really night time now. Gonna get it done. 5 days before I leave. And there's a heap of other stuff to do. It's almost midnight. The door has been assembled. Jimmy's here to lift it in. Jimmy, you ready to go, mate? And Blue, no this time. Mano, se mi va look lo devil o va something na, stand up. I'm up here this morning and we're gonna smash out this entire pantry today. We're gonna get all of the above counter cabinetry in, and then starting plastering tonight, and we're gonna get all the under countertop cabinetry in as well, which won't get fitted out until later on because it's drawers. But we're gonna get all the cabinetry built and plastered so that it's ready for Toph when he has some spare time to come back and attend to that. So this is going to be the walk-in pantry. Bench will come across just like this one. It will come straight across and extend through. And we've got our cabinets going with all our shelves. Why you look like a ghost, man? Harry the friendly ghost. Bobby on the plastering. Nice to see you, Bobs. Hey. Ooh, the cabinetry is plastered. Couple little patches need to be fixed. So Harry's standing back and he'll touch up any little issues that have come up. Alright, the gas fittings have arrived. Ew. This is a very rudimentary. Hey, but what the Kemuel? What? Hello? And then Toph and I are going to silicone in the bathrooms this evening. That's after we get this gas system installed so that we can put the oven and everything in and it's done. And then we're done in the kitchen. There you go. Thank you. Alright, putting the gas manifold in. Whoa. Pull baik nanti foto belum? Okay, yeah. Beautiful, man. We're making a custom. What would you call it? And I just had a beautiful moment marking out 3 towel hooks for our wall in the kids' bathroom. I don't know, it's just, I really miss my family at the moment, and yeah, it's funny how little things like that get you sometimes. I get to see them in a couple of days' time. I'm just so excited about moving back to the island with our family complete. It's just, yeah, it's weird. I don't know, it just caught me, so I thought I'd share. I'm also very tired. Beautiful little symbol of, yeah, what's to come.
The crew working late into the night with Jace are here by choice. Earning overtime, yes, but more than that, it shows how much this team feels like family. We're endlessly grateful for them.
And what is this ridiculous contraption you've got here for me, guys? Come on. Oh, come on, mate, not you.
In the final days before flying out to be with us, Jace was bouncing around between jobs, doing everything he could to get the house close to move-in ready.
Go down. Start again in the morning. Last day tomorrow. And then I go and you can keep going. Everyone's here this morning.
We were, of course, so grateful to have our team able to continue making progress once we were gone. It wasn't easy for Jace to walk away from something so personal, still unfinished. The final coats of paint and varnish, the deck railings, and some of the finishing touches on the second wing, especially the laundry, would have to be completed in our absence. Seeing how much love and energy our staff put into these final days working alongside Jace fills me with pride to be a part of such a special community of people.
On a ladder. So the weather is atrocious. It hasn't stopped raining since the last flight landed and the pilots weren't happy about the conditions. So I'm tired, Bobby. I don't know if I've got energy for this, mate. Wow. I particularly like the half-torn left arse cheek. Very nice, Bobby. Bridge in. Cabinetry's almost finished. We're all very tired. And then I'm going to go start packing. It is 11 o'clock at night. Alright. Just some last little bits of plastering, painting. I'm really kind of a bit sad I didn't get to like pull all the plastic sheet out and everything like that and see it, but it will kind of also make it a bit more of a surprise for me when I finally get back. Yeah. Okay, boys. Marocoro.
I'm so bad.
It's very late. But I'm very excited.
When bad weather shut down the local airstrip, Jace had no choice but to race 65 nautical miles by a boat, then literally run to catch the flight to the capital.
Going for these. Finally. We're back together again.
I bring baby up to you.
We're off to Chila for our first look. I'm very excited.
I haven't even seen a lot of what's happened, so quite a bit has happened whilst I've been away. None of the big stuff, but a lot of the finishing stuff. So, one big thing. So yeah, very, very exciting. Whoa. What do you think, kids? Ah, look at the deck, guys. Woo! Yeah, it's there.
What's your taste?
And you go. Wow. Woo! It's kitchen even. And the pantry is finished, which was not finished when I left. Oh, wow. Come and see what? Whoa, Darwin's room. Let's turn the light on, see if it works. Oh! How cool is this? Huh? Look, even your fan's on. Have a look. Look at this. There is no shower door. It's an open shower. That's why the tiles come so long. Woo. One? Okay, off to you. No. What do you think? Good? Right.
Bit of an understatement, mate. We are moving into Chila today. So we had a bit of a chaotic return to the island. 2 days delayed in Honiara, traumatic flights, sick kids. They're still sick.
We're all a bit sick.
I've got a few last little jobs just to hook up some water this morning.
We're pretty much just we're moving in, sleeping on mattresses on the floor.
Take the basics.
Just because otherwise we're living between two houses here and it's chaos.
This house is like, it's just ridiculous. Like, there's just stuff everywhere.
I just don't cope. I just can't handle.
She likes clean spaces.
And then pretty much this house, once we have moved out over the Christmas holidays, we're going to be converting it into the schoolhouse. So for the time being, this is also still Arlo's schoolhouse, and like we need to get him back into his school routine and get us out. And
alright, so that's what we're doing today. Moving the basics, and then we'll trickle other stuff up and
keep working on the house as we go along, because there's just little things to finish. And we have no furniture, so we're going to be sitting on camp chairs or floor rugs or hammocks, which is fine. We'll make it work.
Yeah. Bit of chaos here. Alright, pretty good start, kids.
Oh my goodness, look! Camping on the floor. Come on, girls! Darwin's by the sun shining window, which we still have to clean.
There have been so many moments where we questioned everything, when the weight of building, parenting, and running this resort felt like too much. But just as many times, we've looked around and known this life right here is the one we're meant to live. Building this home was never just about walls or windows. It was about planting roots, about choosing to stay. And now, with our kids growing up between the reef and the rainforest, even if they're still sleeping on mattresses on the floor, we're reminded every day why we made that choice. It's been 18 months since we moved in, and we're still chipping away at cabinetry and finishing touches. And you won't be surprised to hear that soon after we moved into this home, we launched into building another resort beach house. Because that's just the way life goes here. If you want to see what our home has become after all the chaos and heart, make sure you check out our full house tour video here. This home carries the hands and heart of many, and none more so than Kemuel. A skilled carpenter, a quiet force, and a deeply valued part of our Upi family. His contribution to Chila is etched into the walls, beams, and the memories we hold so dear. We will miss him more than words can say. This video is dedicated to Kemuel.